Hi, I'm James Pearson. Welcome back to My Way Works, and today I want to talk about a life lesson using AI, the wrong way and the right way. This came about at work where I was trying to solve a complex data analysis problem. I wanted AI to just do the understanding for me, and I wasted 2 full days just going back and forth trying to generate the right answer, AI generating thousands of lines of code for me, and me not understanding it and not trusting it and not really knowing if it was doing what I wanted it to do. The third day, I ended up changing how I went about this. I changed a pretty important detail, and 90% of the project was done within that one day, and it went so much better. So today I want to talk about what I did wrong, what I did right, and how to best leverage AI for actually understanding and learning and doing a project without generating thousands of lines or words of answers that are hard to follow. Let's get into it. Okay, so first, what did I do wrong? I wanted AI to solve all my problems without me really understanding them well enough to describe them fully. I started out with a pretty vague understanding. I had AI start generating explanations and code to generate what it thought I needed to present the type of result that I was looking for. I kept refining the prompt. I kept redoing it, starting over, getting pretty far, running the code it gave me, looking at the plots, not understanding them, and just wasn't getting anywhere. So in other words, I was trying to shortcut the thinking process rather than actually make sure I understood this first. So that's what I did wrong. Let's go into the third day. What changed that made this actually doable and efficient the way you expect AI should benefit you, right? We're all pretty used to it. There are absolutely simple things that AI does way faster than any normal research would do. But with this type of a problem that's complex that I don't understand, I needed to work through it differently. So what'd I do? Let's call it the understanding first process. So step one, I basically did a brain dump, right? Stream of consciousness, where I actually did voice to text. I like to talk. I prefer voice to text rather than typing when I'm doing this. So I just said everything I knew about the problem, the stuff I didn't know as much as I could, and fully brain dumped everything and just got it out there, okay? So that's step one. Step two, ask AI to organize your thinking, not to generate a solution yet, not to generate code or whatever this is about, right? Ask it to help me organize what I'm thinking about here. So then it builds this organized version of the problem, right? So then you're going to start asking questions, right? You're going to build understanding. Where do I need to fill in the gap here? Where am I missing understanding of how to solve this problem? So I asked it to fill in the information and help me understand why it suggested this step, why it suggested that step, and so forth. And then I was able to actually understand and get to this place where, okay, this is the actual problem that I'm trying to solve. I understand it, and now I need to execute, okay? So once I got to that point, I had this nice description. It was basically a nice notes document. I said, hey, let's generate 250 lines of code max, okay? Let's run through the steps of this problem and solve it according to my understanding and generate the code. So yes, next it generated the code, and according to my requirements, not thousands of lines. And I went through the code then. I spent time going through and making sure, okay, I understand what this piece does. It's doing what the document said here, which I also understand. So I go through each piece of the solution, make sure it's actually doing what I understand needs to be done. And not just trusting that it's perfect right out of the box from AI. I did find some errors in the code, found some problems, found some things that didn't make sense. I refined it. I asked questions. I got those fixed. That was all done. 90% of the project done within that one day, and I felt so much better about it, okay? It was such a relief to me to get to the point of actually understanding what I was doing. So this understanding first method I should have seen this coming. It should have been obvious to me. I've used AI for personal things a lot, you know, self-improvement, productivity type things, and I've spent, you know, months and months over the last year basically getting to this point where I actually trusted my own judgment and didn't really feel like I needed the AI input for those types of issues anymore, right? But for some reason that didn't translate into this type of problem solving at work. So I'm still learning how to do better, how to better use AI, and how to make sure that I'm clarifying my thinking with AI rather than relying on its brain to give me the solution it thinks I need. I've found over time that my own instincts, my own thoughts, my own ideas regarding more personal side of things are generally good and correct, and gained a great deal of confidence as I worked through that process. But now on the smaller scale, solving individual problems at work, this understanding first and working through a problem in a logical way so that you aren't just relying on AI to solve it for you. That is the way to do it. And I will say, the next day or two, I continue to refine the plots in the presentation. I gave the presentation to a very technical, important person and group, and it turned out great. I was told it was excellent. I was able to explain everything and understood, you know, the recommended additions to the presentation. I understood how to do those because I knew everything about how I got to where I was. So, great result for me. So I invite you to try this yourself. Try that 5-step process that I recommended when you're using AI to solve a problem. First, brain dump everything you know about the problem. Next, have AI help you organize your thinking, not think for you. Next, refine and make sure you ask questions when you get that response back of organized thoughts and processes. What do you have gaps of understanding on? Focus on those, have it help you fill them in. And then next, define the actual result that you're looking for based on this new understanding, and then execute and get only what you want. Okay? So hopefully that helps. If you guys have any recommendations on how to go about using AI or how it's helped you, or any strategies that you've found that make it more efficient for you or make it more beneficial for your life, please share. I'm definitely an advocate for not having AI do your thinking for you. If you do that, you just end up with more confusion. Thanks so much for watching.